Punjab Bandh hai. The call of Bandh given by SKM Non-Political and the Kisan Mazdoor Morcha has drawn a good public response. Though the SKM stayed away from the Bandh, the people have come out and supported the Bandh call given by the SKM Non-Political, mainly because they seem to be completely emotionally swayed by the fast that has been undertaken by Jagjit Singh Dallewal. I'm Ruchika Khanna and I'm joined by my colleague Rajmeet Singh as we discuss the whole Bandh issue. Rajmeet, how successful was the Bandh? What is the information that we're getting from our reporters across Punjab?
It has been, Ruchika, it has been a successful Bandh. Almost 221 trains have been affected and 163 were cancelled. And the traffic people going to the Mohali International Airport was affected because the road was closed. So, largely, the Bandh has got a good response from people in Punjab.
But did it get public sympathy? There have been so many videos floating around about people being harassed and people, in fact, complaining about the harassment because of the Bandh. So, do you think it got public sympathy or it was just a Bandh wherein just the farmers are the ones who've been protesting?
Certainly, people moving on the national highway or going to the hospitals or to the airport were affected and they were critical about it. But in some cases, people were supporting because the cause is for the farmers. So, largely, it's a mixed reaction. People were affected by it.
Okay.
Ruchika ji, will the government, as we are getting the reports, will the government move to shift Dallewal to hospital as has been directed by the Supreme Court?
See, the information that we've got from our sources in the government is that tomorrow is the day, the date of hearing in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has been very, very categorically, it has said that the Punjab government, it is their responsibility that they have to act and ensure that Dallewal, is shifted from the Khanauri border and he gets medical aid. So, the police in 5 districts has been kept on high alert. Initially, there was some talks, a retired AGP who has been the go-between between the protesting farmers and the government, did have a meeting with Jagjit Singh Dallewal last evening. He apparently also had a word with somebody higher up in the government yesterday. But Dallewal has so far refused to, take any medical help. But, with the date in the Supreme Court approaching tomorrow, it seems that there's going to be some action later tonight.
We have come to know that state authorities have been in dialogue with the farmers' agitation since last evening or today also. What is the latest on this? Can you brief us on that?
See, they have not just been speaking to Mr. Dallewal through, as I mentioned, a retired AGP. They have also been involving some of his family members. A very close relative of Mr. Dallewal, who manages his affairs, was also roped in by the Punjab government for a dialogue. But so far, Mr. Dallewal has completely refused to, stop the protest, take medical help. So, what are the political parties saying about this whole issue? I mean, are they supporting the farmers? Are they, the farmers' demands? What are they saying? I mean, are they holding the centre responsible for what is happening, or are they holding the state government responsible?
They are supporting the farmers' agitation also, the farmers' protest also, and they are also targeting the centre because they are saying that it's the centre which has to initiate the dialogue because the demands concerns the centre. So, political parties are on the side of the farmers, and they have been hitting out on the state government also that it is in collusion with the centre. They are playing games with the farmers. So that's happening.
But do you think, is the Punjab government and the centre, are they playing ball on this whole issue? Apparently it seems that the state government says that the centre should come and initiate dialogue once again. The centre keeps on saying it is a responsibility of the state government to ensure that Dallewal gets medical aid and also to ensure that the protesting farmers are removed from the protest sites and people get the way of right.
Because the people in BJP are saying that Dallewal was made to sit by the state government. That is, that allegation, political allegation is there. But certainly, I think the centre needs to intervene because the matter concerns, because they want to march to Delhi. They have been stopped. So they are sitting on a dharna. The issues of MSP guarantees is with the centre. So I think that is the main reason. Centre should intervene. Ruchika, what is the status of unity between the SKM and the KMM? Can you brief us?
Yeah, so as we are aware that a letter was written by Mr. Sarban Singh Pandher a few weeks back, in fact, asking for support from the SKM. So the SKM, there have been different voices within the SKM over the issue. There are certain unions which are not in support of extending any kind of support to the KMM and the SKM non-political, and there are historic reasons behind it. If you remember that when the Delhi protest was on in 2020-21, the year-long protest when it was on 26th of January, the incident that happened at the Red Fort. Now there are certain unions who say that they have reason to believe that one of these protesting unions was involved in the incident that happened at the Red Fort. So they are very wary of extending support to these unions. But since there is public sympathy in their favor, and obviously the SKM does not want to lose its ground amongst the farmers. So obviously they have initiated the whole process of coming together. A 6-member committee has been formed, but nothing major has come out of it.
Can you update us on the status of the dialogue between the centre and the farmers after the February 2024 failed talks in which 3 ministers from centre had come here?
So there was no, as you just said, the talks had failed in February. There were 3 rounds of talks that were held between January and February. There was a delegation from the centre led by, Mr. Piyush Goyal, who would come here. He would sit here for hours with the farmer union leaders, and certain offers were made which were rejected by the farmers. Now, after that, there has been a lull. There have been no talks whatsoever between the centre and the state government. So even yesterday, from what we hear, when Mr. Dallewal spoke to a very senior functionary in the Punjab government through the retired ADGP, one of the things he said that he would seek medical help if the state government would ensure that that the centre would come here and start talks with the protesting farmers. So since the state government is itself in no position to kind of force the centre to come here and initiate a dialogue again,
very rightly said, the cups from Haryana have said, why doesn't the Supreme Court tell the centre to intervene and initiate the dialogue with the farmers? What is your take on that?
See, I mean, ultimately, it's the Supreme Court and not its wisdom. Must have they would have looked at all the legal facts, and they would have decided, on the fact that it is a responsibility of the state government to act. But yes, I mean, the way forward is only if a dialogue is initiated between the centre and the protesting farmers. And I think with the kind of unity that the kind of response that the Bandh has got today, there's been I think it's a matter of time that the SKM would have no option but to, in fact, join forces with the SKM non-political and the KMM. Though a lot of leaders in the SKM believe that so far the call for unity has only been made by the KMM leader, Mr. Sarban Singh Pandher, and not by Mr. Dallewal. So within the farmer unions also, there is talk about if both Mr. Sarban Singh Pandher and Mr. Dallewal are on the same page or not. Yeah.
But you see a big shift from agitating, protesting, and sitting on a Gandhian way of protest. I will say, how do you see the shift in the type of agitation in the farmers? Like earlier, they were they marched towards the Delhi borders and they were staging a protest. Now he is certain on hunger strike. There is a shift in they are not being allowed to move across the border.
No, I mean, the Haryana government is very clear that they are not going to allow the farmers to move into their territory. So, I mean, farmers, once you have galvanized a lot of people for a cause, you have to have some kind of protest. So, I think the protest is that they have been sitting there, and then Mr. Dallewal in November end announced that he would proceed on a hunger strike.
So, is it making an impact?
Yeah, I mean, Punjabis by nature, as you know, I mean, we are very emotional people. So, the fact that a septuagenarian has been on a hunger strike. He's not been, he's lying there, draws a lot of emotions amongst people. And I think that is why people, there's been a certain spurt in the number of protesters who've started gathering at the Khanauri border. You must also remember that that is also one of the reasons that even Mr. Ticket, he had to come here, and he realized a lot of people are coming there. All after the hunger strike began, a lot of leaders from various political parties have also gone there, and they've
very prominent people are here. So
gone
they see
there.
some.
They see that the public sympathy is going in favor of the farmer leaders. So on that note, we'd like to thank you. And as the new year approaches, we are yet to see how the farmer struggle would go on, what is going to be the shape of the farmer struggle. Will the centre ultimately come and initiate dialogue with the farmers? Thank you for watching Decode Punjab. Please continue to read your favorite newspaper, which is the Tribune. Please subscribe to the Tribune YouTube channel and continue to follow us on X, on Instagram, and on Facebook. Thank you.